I'd like to thank Minister Steele for the report on the participatory budgeting exercise for the Better Suburbs project and acknowledge the role that Minister Fitzharris had previously taken when it was in her portfolio. And I would have to agree, I think we all do, about the importance of things like our healthy waterways, and acknowledge the role of the federal government in funding significant healthy waterways projects in the ACT in conjunction with the ACT government, the importance of trees and the canopy, of waste management, dog control and responsible dog ownership, and play spaces. And these are all things we've spoken about many, many times in this Assembly. I'd also like to thank and congratulate members of the Citizens Forum for their contribution to the process and the significant commitment that they've made and responsibility in working through these issues on behalf of all Canberrans. So thank you very much for your contribution. But I do have a question about the process, and that is how it fits with our time-honoured Westminster process of petitioning Parliament. The rights of citizens to petition the Parliament stems from traditions across many civilisations. In the Westminster system, it can be traced back to the 13th century, when petitioning the Crown was relied on for redress of grievances. By the 17th century, when in 1669 the rights of petitioners and the power of the House of Commons to address petitions were affirmed by 2 resolutions, the form and purpose of petitions had evolved to the style we see reflected in current petitioning. And it is often said that petitions are the most direct form of communication between the public and the House, or in our case, the Assembly. So I'm unsure if the government is now ignoring the long-standing, some might say old-fashioned, but still, I believe, very relevant process of petitioning in favour of participatory democracy. When we've seen the standard practice in parliamentary processes is of the important role that members play in liaising with citizens and bringing forward issues to the Parliament. And in fact, there are 24 clauses in our standing orders, clauses 83 to 100C, which relate directly to petitions. I question whether we're taking away the rights and the role of members and placing this decision-making and liaison with citizens firmly and solely in the hands of the government by running these participatory democracy processes. Because we've seen petitions come to this Assembly and been rejected and dismissed by the government because they say these decisions are going to be made by this participatory budgetary process. We on this side have lobbied the government, for example, about playgrounds via petitions. Warramanga and Torrens playgrounds from my colleagues Julia Jones and Jeremy Hanson. Higgins playground from Mrs Kickett. Greenway from myself. And just this morning we saw a petition from Ms Lakuta about fencing of play spaces. So are we abandoning petitions in favour of the government's new discovery of the participatory budgeting process? Is it just a new name for something that's been around for centuries, the time-honoured Westminster tradition of petitioning? In no way am I trying to take away from the important contribution of the people who participated and gave forward these fantastic recommendations about waterways, trees, waste management, dogs, play spaces. These are important issues that we do discuss over and over again. These people have given up significant amounts of time, devoted their intellectual capacity and emotional contribution towards looking at these issues that affect all Canberrans. And once again, I'd like to thank you for your contribution. What I'm asking about is the parliamentary process and whether this is now designed to, or inadvertently, taking away the role of all members with respect to the expectation that when a community bands together and puts forward a petition, that the government will now use this process as a way of dismissing, rejecting and ignoring what that community group have put forward in a petition.
Question, is the motion be agreed to? Ms Chain.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Also,